It says preparing. It should be. Yep. All right. Well, we're live.
Yes.
All right. Well,
We're live.
while I'm getting my screens up and set up, I'm gonna kind of work into let people have some time to jump on and join in. But tonight we have a awesome interview with a local business owner. Jennifer Vera is here with us with Action Rental Services, or what? Hold on. Don't let me mess that up. What is it? Action Rental Services Events?
Action Rental Center. Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and we're just gonna jump into this. Looks like we got some people on. Let me click this up. Make sure the volume is off. And good deal. All right. Well, Jennifer, I'm really glad to have you on. I know the group's ready to hear from you. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you from, what you like to do, all that fun stuff.
All right. My name is Jennifer Vera, and my husband and I own Action Rental Center. We also own a wedding facility out in China Spring called Fossil Creek. And I'm native to Waco, Texas, born and raised, love it here, wouldn't have it any other way. Believe it or not, my hobbies are exactly what I do for a living. I'm an event designer and planner, and that is what I love to do even on my off time. So I like to travel, and I like to spend time with my family.
Doesn't everybody? And we had your daughter. The first interview in this group was Caitlin Delgado, and that's your daughter, correct? With CM Designs?
That's right, my oldest daughter. I was so proud of her.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Thank y'all for having her on.
Oh man, I was so thankful to be able to get her. That was amazing. Well, go ahead and tell us about Action. Tell us about what all y'all do, where you're located, and how we can get in touch with you.
Okay. So Action Rental Center is located at 811 Lake Air Drive. We are the largest rental center in Waco, Texas. We offer tables and chairs and tents, pipe and drape for like conventions, casino parties, you name it. We also have design services where we help you design your special event. And we have planning services where we help people plan for weddings, but more than anything, we do a lot of corporate event planning. We right now have kind of changed that up a little bit, and I know you and I will talk about that a little bit later in the interview, but we've been in business Action Rental's been in business for 53 years now. And my husband and I took over Action Rental March 1st, 2007. Our company started in December 1st, 1999. So we've been doing this for a very, very long time.
Good deal. Well, what motivated y'all to move into this field of work? What inspired you?
So believe it or not, my husband's background is in car sales and beer sales, and my background is in banking and insurance. I had an Allstate insurance agency for a few years, and I also had a State Farm insurance agency. And during the time that we had the Allstate agency, my husband, I guess both of us just kind of looking for some side work to do, we decided to open up an inflatable business. And we bought 4 inflatables in a trailer, and that was meant to be part-time work for us on the side of what we were already doing. And that business actually quickly grew the first year to over 13 inflatables, and then within 5 years, over 40 inflatables. And my husband quit his job and decided to pursue this full time. So as you know, inflatables are, a warm weather month type business. So we needed to decide on what we would do during the cooler months when we couldn't rent out the inflatables. And so my husband had this idea that he would build casino tables. And so he did, and I thought he was completely crazy. And we did a bunch of casino parties. But what ended up happening was our brides would come in, and they liked the tablecloths, and they liked the chair covers, and they liked the stuff that we were using to decorate the casino parties, and they would rent that for their wedding. And so I would come into the office. My Allstate office was right around the corner from the Celebration Central office, and I would go around the corner and meet with these brides, and then I'd run back to the Allstate office. And eventually I just found that what I wanted to do was just help the brides. And I feel like I'm the most fortunate woman in the world because I get to wake up every day and do exactly what I love, which is working with clients and planning events and all of that fun stuff.
Well, that's awesome. Definitely sounds like you love it too, that's the way to go when it comes to work. You want to do what you like. What's the number one way
Absolutely.
that you have found to bring in new customers to your field of work specifically?
So I really believe word of mouth is the best way to bring in new business. So with that being said, what do you have to do to secure that word of mouth? One, each and every client that you deal with needs to be treated equally, needs to be treated like they're the most important client that you deal with on that day. Prior to COVID, we were averaging, 30, 40, 50 events a week. And that can be hard to do when you've got so many things going on, but we made it a priority to try to fill. We have a program at Action Rental called Very Important Partier, our VIPs, and we try to make everyone feel like a VIP at Action. And then in our execution, each and every one of our clients, whether it be a small backyard party or whether it be a huge corporate event, we want to make sure that the execution is the same. So we want to make sure that we're offering them a quality product, and we're wanting to make sure we spend time making sure that the execution of that event is what it needs to be. Sometimes, unfortunately, there may be an employee that's made a mistake, and then the idea is that you go and fix whatever problem that your employee may have caused so that they know that you care about their event and that you care about them. And that's when they start spreading the word about your company. I would say 80% of the business that we get in at Action Rental Center is through word of mouth clients and repeat business.
Yeah, and then just practicing consistency and treating everybody the same, right? Just working hard for each client the same as you would do for the next. That's awesome. Has your business been affected immediately? Which obviously you've kind of touched a little bit on that, but what are the immediate effects from what's going on right now with Action?
So the hospitality industry was hit hard. My husband likes to say we were the first domino that fell in the course of all of this. We started getting cancellations for events starting in March 1st, the first week of March. And then it was just a complete, shutdown after that. We went literally in one weekend, we had over 100 cancellations in one weekend. I think I was telling you this earlier. It kind of felt like we were driving down I-35 and all of a sudden someone just pulled up that emergency brake, and we stopped really quick, and it was scary. It was frightful for sure. But yeah, we were hit hard, and I think we were talking about it. We had to kind of adapt to the changes that we needed to do to make sure that our company survived.
For sure. Well, go ahead and tell everybody how you're adapting, because I know that's, even the business owners want to hear it, because everybody obviously is going to have different ideas and ways to move forward. But what have y'all done to adapt your business to the current situation, having to work from home and not being able to go to the office at least as much as you should, for sure? And what are y'all doing?
Yeah. So I was telling you earlier, one, for all the business owners out there, and even those that are working for another company, I would encourage you to, get the book, Who Moved My Cheese, check it out, read it. It's really a good read during this time. Basically, we're having to adapt to the changes, adapt to the current situation. And what we've done is, well, the first week, scared that there were no events going on whatsoever. All of our March events canceled, all of our April events canceled. 70% of the business that canceled for March and April were not going to be able to be rescheduled. So that is corporate events that can't reschedule those events. So that's not like income we can earn later on. So it was really scary. So I hit the pavement running. I mean, my husband and I, we reached out to hundreds of businesses, and we tried everything from contacting the grocery stores for their needs, the hospitals for their needs, the factories for their needs. And we went from setting up tents for like special occasions and setting up these fun events to here in the last couple of weeks, we've been setting up fever check tents. We've been setting up medical testing tents for hospitals. We've been setting the drive-through tents. We had a wonderful, our very first customer, I can say, through all this was April with Jessup Housing, and she was just like the sign of hope that our company needed, because we were so scared of what the future held for us. And she called and she said, I want to rent some tents for an extended break room, and I need them for a month. And she could hear the excitement in our voice. We rushed out. We were there within an hour to set up her tents. I mean, we were just so excited for this order. And then she reached out to other business owners, and they've we've been able to do the extended break rooms for some of the other companies in town, which has really, really helped tremendously. And like I said, you know, the fever checks, the medical testing tents, all of that good stuff. And we are on call to set up other tents as needed for some of the hospitals. If the need arises for larger tents and they are needing to set up, unfortunately, larger testing areas or hospital makeshift beds and things like that, we kind of have our cell phone number on an emergency call list right now with a couple of those hospitals in case those needs arise. So.
Which is amazing. You thought outside of the box, you found the need, you know, and the want, and you just connected it to what you already had. And that's the smartest adaptation really that any human can do, because that's what you have to do. What do I have, and where's the need for that? You know, well, what you have, and you connected that, and that's, you know, that's really awesome that you did that.
Today I
cool.
delivered.
Yeah, well, you found a way to keep.
Today I actually delivered. Yeah. Today we actually delivered 125 social distancing stickers to a factory, something I never thought I would do, but we were contacted by one of the companies we've been working with, and they were like, do you do social distancing stickers? And I was like, I don't, but I've got a friend who does, and we all need the work right now. So rather than order that online, let's keep it local. So I was able to reach out to a local sign shop called Sign This, called my friend Becky. They were literally able to print them out and have them to us the very next day. So I was able to kind of start the sticker business, I guess, through the help of Becky with Sign This.
Yeah, while helping out another local business, which is amazing. You know, always keep that in mind. So do you have any advice for other business owners or consumers? Do you have any advice for anybody that's out there listening right now for what's going on with anything?
Yeah, absolutely. Stay positive. You know, there's nothing that you or I can do to change, you know, the situation that we are in right now. And the idea is that we just need to make the most of it, and we need to stay positive. I'll get a little religious on you, so I apologize. I don't know if that's acceptable here, but one of the images that God sent to me through all this was, you know, the scripture that says, you know, even the birds, you know, as small as the birds, are clothed and fed, and so He'll provide for all of us. And there's so many people. The world has been so beautiful. It's seeing people just reach out with whatever they can. I was sharing with you that Action Rental kind of turned into a distribution center. There's a coalition of seamstresses and local companies that have come together to create cloth masks. They're not meant to take the place of N95 masks. They're just meant to prolong the use of an N95 mask. But we literally every day get to see hundreds of seamstress, like their volunteer time and effort, blood, sweat, and tears. And those stories will come out later. But the blood, sweat, and tears of these seamstress to produce the mask just like this, so that our healthcare workers can be safe. And there's deliveries that are going on every single day to these hospitals. And so people are volunteering their time. There are local companies, and there are just even individuals that have been donating materials and elastic and thread and everything you could, even the pattern to make it. I mean, it was just amazing. But just to see the efforts of all of those come together, that's been beautiful. And so just know that, you know, this is a good time to reflect. Maybe you can use this time to build aspects of your business that you didn't have time to, because let's just be real. In the business world, we don't always have time to work on those things like our website or work on things like our social media presence. And so we can use this slowdown just to kind of reflect on that, maybe kind of regroup and figure out how we can, you know, build that back where we need it to be and help grow our business once we come out of all of this.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And also before we leave, I did want to go ahead and tell us a little bit more about that book you were talking about, because I think I'm going to read it. It sounds amazing, but it's the maze. What is it again?
Okay. The book is called Who Moved My Cheese? I couldn't even tell you the author. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I'm the worst
right.
person you've ever interviewed ever, because I don't remember.
No,
But
not
the
at all.
idea of the book is the idea of the book is this. Okay, there are mice in a maze, and there's cheese, and the cheese is placed in the same location every single day. So these mice know to go to that same location every single day and to get fed. And so they do. So each day they go to this area to get fed. Well, then one day the scientist decides to move the cheese. And you have the one mouse that decided he was going to just keep going back to the same spot every single day, because eventually the cheese would be back because it had been there before. So surely it would change back, you know, to where it was. And he eventually dies. I'm telling y'all the story. I apologize. And the second mouse, so as he keeps going, he moves and moves and moves and moves the cheese. And the mice have to keep adapting. And it's the mouse that moved with the cheese is the one that survives. And that's kind of the basis of the story. And so you need to roll with the punches, move with the cheese to get through this. And that actually can help you in everyday life. There's so many changes going on, different procedures that are going to start taking place. The idea that we are going to need to start wearing masks, you know, when we go out in public. I mean, all this stuff is just new to us and so different. And none of us ever in a million years thought that anything like this would hit us during our lifetime, nor that of our children's lifetime. So we're having to move with the cheese, and that's kind of the basis of the story. I think you should read it. It should be on Kindle. I'm sure it is.
Yeah, because what we were discussing is the amounts of money being spent now hasn't really changed. It's just where the money's going now. And it's just like what she was talking about. It's find the cheese, you know, either find it or get left behind and find ways to adapt. And that's what we're here for. I appreciate you. Do you have anything else that you wanted to talk about or discuss before we sign off?
No, I think that's it. We are going to be in the next week starting something new for the little ones on the Action Rental Facebook page. So if you have a little one and you want to kind of go on, starting next week, we are going to have daily videos where we come on and we're going to give them ideas of things they can find in their house to create a tea party. And we're going to give them the instructions of what they need to find from their house, gather their things, and then we're going to put together a little tea party online, down to even giving them a recipe for cookies, or their parents could help them. Their mom might be able to help them coming up with the decorations for the little tea party. And then we're going to wait for the pictures to come in from all the little tea parties. And so we're going to kind of come up with little ideas that we can do each week to kind of keep the kids busy, and because I need to plan some events, right?
Yeah, well, I guarantee you the mothers and fathers out there at home with the kids will enjoy it and find, you know, especially just having something to do. So that'd be great. Everybody jump on and join in the activities. Thank you so much for coming on. You've been very insightful and very helpful for me, at least, and I really hope for others. I'm sure you have been for others. Group, y'all be sure and stay tuned. We have a lot of great stuff tomorrow. There will be 2 live interviews tomorrow. At lunch, I will be speaking with Delia Trujillo Reyes with Trujillo's. We'll be going down there and doing a live interview there. And then at 5 p.m., I'll have Jamie Blanick with Blanick Catering on there. We just got a lot more exciting stuff. So stay tuned and let's keep moving forward. I love you, Waco, and stay safe. Thank you again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.